Alright, number 16 looks a little bit different, but we will be doing quadratic. I will kind of go over a little background to help you understand what's going on. So one of the main things you want to be mindful of is that when we're dividing or factoring, when we're factoring, we're actually dividing, and you need to remember property of exponent. So when I'm just dividing regular numbers, say 8 divided by 2, okay, I divide and that will give us 4, because 8 divided by 2 will give you 2 even groups of 4. Now, when we do exponents, let's say I had x to the 8th and I had x to the 2nd. Whenever you divide exponents, the property is to subtract. So this is actually x to the 8 minus 2, which gives us x to the 6. So this is the thing you need to remember, because I'm going to be dividing with these fractional exponents, and you need to remember me dividing or factoring is actually just subtracting. Okay, so hopefully that helps you see where we're going here. So number 16, we have 3y to the 7/3 power, and then we have plus 11y to the 4/3 power, and then we have minus 42y to the 1/3 power. Okay, so the nice thing is they all have the same denominator. They're all 3. So I can just pull that out. The smallest one is the only one I can pull out 1/3. So I'm going to factor out a 1/3. The numbers are relatively prime to each other. 3 and 42 are divisible by 3, but not 11. So I can't factor out any number. So I will factor out a y to the 1/3 power. Now remember, I am subtracting because property of exponent, so I'm actually subtracting. So in parentheses, what I have left is 3, and I subtract 1/3, so that leaves me with 6/3 left. And then plus 11y. Now this was 4/3. I took away 1 from the 4, so it's going to leave me with 3/3 left. And then minus 42. And then we factored out that y to the 1/3, so there's nothing left. And then when I reduce these, 6 divided by 3, that's equal to 2, and 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, y to the 1/3, and now we have, I left my y off, okay, 3y to the 2nd, because 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then plus 11, just y, because 3 divided by 3 is 1, so first power, and then minus 42. Okay, so you can see now it looks quadratic. So they give you something in a different form. Just want you to use all the skills and properties that you're familiar with to simplify it, and then once you see that pattern, we go right back to factoring. So I'm going to multiply 3 and 42. That's going to give us 126. Let me just double check all that. Now 126 is a bigger number, so I'm going to let the calculator divide it. So turn this on, 3 times 42. 126. Okay, so I'm going to go to y equal, clear out. I'm going to type 126 divided by x, second table. Okay, so I'm looking for the factors that when we subtract we get 11. Okay, so I'm just going to arrow down 6 and 21, it gives us 15, 7 and 18, that's what we need. Okay, so 7 times 18 will give you 26, and when you subtract, that will give you 11. Alright, so we got the numbers that we need. So I'm going to write my y to the 1/3 on the outside, and then 2 sets of parentheses equals 0. So I'm going to split up. Now the 3 I'm going to put in front of both. Now this is incorrect, but we're going to fix it. 3y. Separate that y squared. 7 and 18 at the back. Order doesn't matter. First sign is the bigger number, so plus on the 18. The second sign says negative, so they're different signs. This will give us a minus. All right, we're going to reduce. So we have a y to the 1/3, and then 3 and 7 are prime to each other, so they won't reduce. So I'm going to just leave that as 3y minus 7. And then 3 and 18, we can reduce those. So divide both by the biggest number they can be divided by, which will be 3. And that's going to leave us with y. And 18 divided by 3 is going to be 6. Okay, so this is reduced, completely factored. At this point, if you were to multiply, you would get back what you originally started with. And at this point, we're going to set all three terms equal to 0 and solve. So y to the 1/3 power. So I'll show you two ways for this. So when you have a fractional exponent, you can just raise it like 1/3 and multiply it by 3. You can do it like this, raise it to the 3rd power, and it's going to cancel out the 1/3. You can also recognize that this is a cube root, because whatever's on the bottom, that's what goes on the root of y. And when you rewrite it, then it's easy to see that, hey, I just need to raise it to the 3rd power. So either way, you're going to be doing that same thing. When you raise it to the 3rd power, you just get y, and 0 to the 3rd power is 0. So with the first one, we get 0. And that's going to be the case if you just have a single variable on the outside, even if it has a number in front of it, no matter the exponent on it. I shouldn't say no matter, because it could be a negative and cause problems, but usually with positive exponent and a number out front, you're still going to end up with 0. And then we have 3y minus 7 equals 0, and then we have y plus 6 equals 0. All right, we're going to add 7, so it's going to give us 3y equal positive 7. Divide by 3, so it's going to give you y equals 7/3. And then subtract 6, so it's going to give us y equals negative 6. So here are our three solutions: 0, 7/3, and negative 6. 7 divided by 3, and negative